first story. This happened. My grandma told this story, and she said this story happened all the way back in 1972. So basically, she and her husband, they basically got married a month ago, and they bought a house. It was close to a mansion. They were rich, so their house was close to a mansion. It was kind of one. And yeah, they went to. So this one night in 1972 of August, they went to sleep, and then her husband woke up, and when he woke up, he just the first thing he's described as the first thing he saw was something very tall, mouth wide open. The fingernails are just too long, and the tall creature ran over to him, and it just stared at him. And this is before I was born. I wasn't even born yet. Yeah, it was just staring at him. Then the husband's wife woke up, and then she also stared at it, and the tall black creature also stared at her. And then that's when they heard a lightning noise outside, and then the tall creature made a noise. He screamed very loud, and then he put two of them in in his mouth. Then they died. Not really, they didn't die. They woke up, and it was just a dream. But when they went downstairs to check if it was actually just a dream or if this was real, they went and looked at the window, and they saw the creature. And then that's when they called the police. And then the police came, and then it turned out to actually be a real human. A real human that's very old, that's still living. And he had a knife. He had two knives, and he was gonna kill them. And I wonder, to this day, I still wonder what would happen to my grandma if her husband never woke up and she woke up, and she was the one that woke up, and her husband was still asleep. Her husband never woke up. Second story. This happened 1 month ago when I moved in a new complex with me and my friend from high school. So we just got this new complex, this new house, and so we started moving in. We moved all our stuff in, and then immediately when we got the truck, actually, a neighbor ran up to us. We got scared, so oh yeah, hi. And the neighbor was like, "Oh, hello, are you moving in?" And we just stared at him, and I said yes. And the neighbor just greeted us. He told us about the neighborhood, all the people. He even helped us move in. Our house looked nice. It was like a 2-story house, so yeah, you can have a slinky, put it down the stairs, but that's not about it. The scary part about the house is the basement. Yeah, we had a basement. It was very scary. We never went down there, and to this day, we still haven't went down there yet. And we called the construction people to get rid of the basement. So yeah, we were just moving in. After we moved in, got settled in, we still had some stuff in the truck. So we still we took a break for 5 to 10 minutes. We jumped some Capri Sun. Then we got back up. Then we took the stuff out of the truck. Then we just like put it in the house. And then this is the part that really starts to get creepy. So my friend named Mark. So he went downstairs. He went downstairs in the basement, and that's when I heard a scream. It was like this. So we heard a scream, and I was like, "Mark, are you okay?" And I didn't hear him again, and the basement door just closed shut. So I called the police, and they went downstairs in the basement to go investigate. And this is where it gets very scary. This is the worst part ever, where it gets way too creepy. So if you're over 18, if you're under 18, or if you're under 9 years old, you might want to turn down your mom. So, only to describe the monster. The monster was butt naked. Even his dingling was out. And then when they went to see Mark had his eyes popped out. His guts was on the floor. The monster was eating it. The monster even took out his lungs. He put it in the guts and made it as a sandwich so he can eat it. And he even took out his brain. And the monster is actually alive. So the monster said he was using it as a cauliflower. You know what that is? That white broccoli thing that looked like a brain. Yeah, the monster got arrested. Unfortunately, Mark was dead. So yeah, I cried about that for a month. And after that month, the same thing happened. This is the creepiest part of the story. So if you don't like creepy stuff, then you probably don't want to listen to this anymore. Probably skip to the next story. Yeah, the next month was just so silent. Like I was barely even in my house at the time. Like I was barely even going in my house, sleeping in here because of the basement. Now, even narrating this makes me scared. Just like last night, it's daytime now. So it's just the basement. So I did something very stupid that made me not gonna be able to walk for a whole year. I still can't walk to this day. And I have like 2 more months left until I can walk again. So this is the part when I'm stupid. So I go down in the basement. And what I see scares me and haunts me to this day. I saw the same monster out of jail. He was eating the same cops from 1 month ago. He had his guts out, and Mark was still there. He was even finishing on Mark. Like the only part left of Mark was his head. Now the scary part about his head is his eyes was out. So basically, where his eyes was at, it's just black void. The monster was eating that part. Then the monster looked at me. This is the reason why I can't walk. I couldn't walk for 1 year. So monster looked at me. He ran over to me. Monster ran over to me, and he sliced off my feet. And I just remembered something. I had a gun in my pocket. I shot the monster in the head. And yeah, I called the police. It was hard getting back upstairs though, because my feet was all, he sliced it off. So yeah, it was kind of struggle to get back upstairs. But I just made it upstairs. I called the police, and they said they would be on their way. I even described my legs as my feet were sliced. Also brought the ambulance. And after that call, I just passed out. I just went unconscious. So the next day, I woke up in the hospital. The doctor came in the room. My family came in the room. They was crying, and they just said, "Are you okay? Are you okay, Jalen?" I just said yes. And in my mind, I was just like, this is just over. And it really was. Story 3. So I had this teddy bear. When I was 6 years old, I had this teddy bear in my room. So basically, I liked the teddy bear. It was kind of giant. I liked it though. And I used to play with it. Every time my parents would be arguing, I used to just go upstairs and cry, and then I look at the teddy bear, and it would just make me happy. And I would just hug it, and that would just make me happy. But when I turned 7 years old, this is where everything changed. So when my parents was arguing again for the 100th time, it felt like the 100th time, and it really was. They argued every day since 2001. And in 2002, this is where stuff started getting weird because I was 7. So when I was arguing again, I went upstairs to cry. I looked at the teddy bear, and when I looked at it, this is where it's weird. The teddy bear eyes was red and bulging out of his head, and their teeth was wide open. He was just looking at me. He lashed at me with a loud scream, and this is where I passed out. So 1 year later, I woke up after a coma, and 1 year, my parents was so sad. When they saw me woke up, they started crying because they haven't seen my eyes open for a year, so they started crying, basically. And then I didn't remember any of this stuff, so I was like, what happened? And he's like, oh darling, the teddy bear, it hit you so hard you were in a coma. And I didn't know what a coma was at the time, so I just told them, what was a coma? They said, a coma is something that you get when something bad happens to you. You go into coma for a while, probably a week or something. But this time, it was a hard hit to you, so you went in coma for a year. And I was shocked. I said, a year? I said, yes. I don't know how, but it was. Now I was just looking into the void. I was just looking in the sky, looking in the roof. And I was just thinking to myself, what even happened? And I just remembered the teddy bear. And I told my parents, what happened to that teddy bear? And they said, they still have it. And I got so scared. I moved to my grandma's house. And after that 1 month, my grandma said, your parents are dead? And I said, how? And I said, my grandma said, because the teddy bear. I got so mad, I didn't even know. Story 4. When I turned 18, my parents bought me a new car. My parents bought me a new Lamborghini. It was blue, but I didn't like the color at the times, so I said, no, I want it green, not no stupid blue. My parents, and I was pretty spoiled at the time. I'm not spoiled anymore. I was pretty spoiled though. My parents got so mad that for some reason they snatched their hair off and then their eyes became black, and then they just ran up to me. They hollered, they screamed in my face, lecturing me to not be spoiled, call me spoiled, worthless brat. And I started crying. I ran away from them very fast, but they were too fast for me, and they just screamed in my face like, ah! It was very louder than that. So I wasn't cautious. Neighbor heard me, so he went up to me. You know how I know it? Because I woke up after 5 hours. I was in the hospital. The doctor said, I told the doctor what happened, and the doctor said, your parents, they went crazy. They're in jail now. And I gasped. I said, what? How? Oh my! And I just remembered, and I said, oh God, remember. My parents went crazy, and they sliced my left ear off. Well, it's still on my hearing, but my hearing on that ear is now bad. And to this day, my parents are still in jail. I am 20 years old now. My parents are still in jail. I have all their money. They had $500 million, so I'm living in a mansion now. I'm a YouTuber. I have 5 to 6 million subscribers. I have half a quarter of 5 million subscribers. Yeah, that's my story. This is the last story, guys. If you're not already subscribed to me, leave a like, subscribe. This is the last story. It's probably gonna be the creepiest story. It's gonna be a reference to last night's story. Just kidding. So it was getting late, and it got to nighttime, and I woke up. I went to sleep on my bed. My girlfriend was also in my bed. She was already asleep. She had a sleepy head for some reason. Yeah, so when I woke up in somewhere else. Like, I just woke up in the basement. And then when I looked around, I knew it was a basement because the stairs. And it was very dark. And it was in complete silence, so I didn't make any noise. I tried not to breathe. In there, but I couldn't. The smell in there was just so bad. If you was in my point of view, you would not like it. It smelled like something that's non-human, and it smelled like vinegar. I looked around again, and then the lights suddenly just turned on, and then I just looked around myself, and then I just saw nothing. The only thing I saw was walls. I didn't see no stairs. I didn't see nothing but walls and floors, and I only saw a roof. And then there was no stairs, so I couldn't leave this place. I woke up tied to a chair. Then this non-human thing ran up to my face, started looking at me. Then all these things, then to make stuff worse, these rooms started to spawn everywhere, and then these monsters started to get close to me. Then bit by bit, every time I closed my eyes, every time I blinked, they would scream, and they would get louder and louder. And the last time I blinked, it got so loud that almost the whole town can hear me. The whole town can hear it. And I passed out. And then when I woke up, I tried to hear, but I couldn't hear nothing. I just couldn't hear nothing. And the doctor said something that I couldn't hear. And I said, what? I can't hear you. And the doctor wrote in the paper, you're deaf because of the monsters. They screamed way too loud, and you was closest to them, so you passed out. And the reason why there was no stairs because you was in some room that no one could explain. And yeah, after that, they taking me home. My girlfriend was there crying. She knew that I couldn't hear. So we just went to go watch the news. And when we saw the news, we got so shocked. It said the monsters, the dark monsters, strike again. But this time, the person that survived was lucky, and it was Jason Scott. That was my name, I said. And then on TV, the news reporter, he opened his head, and it was the monster. They jumped out. It jumped out of everybody's TV, and everybody died bit by bit. Everybody died. So that was my 5-sentence horror story, or my, you could call it. If I like this video, if I like my stories, make sure to like and subscribe for more story and for more content. I really enjoy making these stories, even though they creep me out. Anyway, make sure to do those steps for more stories, and bye. I love you guys, so bye.